March is Caffeine Awareness Month. And in the world of fitness, there's plenty of companies that capitalize off of the use of caffeine and target athletes or gym goers in that endeavor. From energy drinks to pre-workout to caffeine goos and snacks, there's tons of sources of caffeine and tons of options to choose from which one's best for you. And even soda has some caffeine in it too. But what is the science behind that? What is the science behind caffeine and exercise? Does it actually help performance? What are the pros and cons? Now, caffeine is not a controlled or banned substance in sports. I think at one point it was controlled for a little bit. So if an athlete had too much caffeine in their system, they would be barred from that particular sporting event. However, it's currently not a controlled substance in sports. So, what is caffeine? Caffeine is among one of the most studied performance supplements. So, its effects on performance have been studied for decades. So, it's not like a new form of science. It's nothing new to the sports realm. It's been studied for a long time. So, how does caffeine affect performance? Show me the facts. Okay. So, caffeine has been shown to decrease your rating of perceived exertion, or RPE. RPE is how hard it feels while you're working out or training. Caffeine positively affects cardiovascular performance and anaerobic performance. If caffeine didn't help, I would wonder why so many gym goers use energy drinks and pre-workout. Maybe they would perceive that it helped, but it does actually increase your performance, so it's not just a placebo. Caffeine supplementation. What does that look like? What does caffeine supplementation and what amounts of caffeine are necessary to improve your performance? So different sources say different things. So I'm going to go over a couple different ranges and kind of give an idea of what might be best for most people. So one source says 3 to 9 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. All right, 9's a little bit high in my opinion, but all right, Icarus, if you feel like flying too close to the sun, that's up to you. But another source also says 3 to 6 milligrams. So somewhere in between the 3 and the 6 might be probably a safer or better bet. A lot of sources or a lot of studies have shown or have looked at dosage of 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So that might be a better starting point. I would lean closer to the 6 milligram compared to the 9 milligram because more studies have recommended that amount. So, since we're talking about maybe dosages of caffeine, it should be noted that the FDA says that for most adults, caffeine consumption of up to 400 milligrams is mostly safe with limited adverse effects. Okay, so once you go above 400, bets might be off after that point, but this is what the FDA recommends, is 400 milligrams. So I'm somebody who's personally caffeine sensitive, so I can feel a little bit in like a little Dr. Pepper, the 40 milligrams in that. So I don't want to go anywhere near that 400 mark. And the most I would have in a day is about 200. And that's if I don't have to go to bed at my normal time of 8 p.m. So, also, anecdotally, if I have a little bit too much caffeine during my endurance activity, and it raises my heart rate, I can often feel it and I'll notice it. And sometimes it makes me start to panic. So it kind of depends on what you can tolerate, both actually physically and mentally noticing if your heart rate is up. So, as I said, it could be dependent upon the person. So the dose is very individualized. So what does happen if you are like Icarus and fly too close to the caffeine sun of having too much caffeine? So what are the downsides? 1, addiction. So caffeine is a drug, and you will go through some withdrawal symptoms if you become addicted to it. So when you stop, you can go through withdrawal. 2, anxiety. Caffeine can increase your symptoms of anxiety and make you a little more nervous. 3, heart arrhythmias. So it can negatively affect the way that your heart beats. So it can beat irregularly, slow, fast. It can just affect that. 4, tremors. It can cause tremors. And not like the graboid kind. 5, insomnia. It can cause insomnia. 6, restlessness. 7, gastrointestinal distress. I'm not going to go into detail on that one. And adverse effects on sleep. So those are some of the downsides of caffeine. So what's the verdict? Caffeine overall is fairly safe to use as a performance-enhancing substance. That is also legal to use. There's some negative effects, but those are due to excessive use of the caffeine. You can have some caffeine and be fine for the most part. For the most part, it's pretty safe. It's very well studied, so you kind of know what the adverse effects are of it. Caffeine does help you perform in endurance, power, and in strength activities, so a bunch of people can benefit from it, no matter what your sport is. All right, if you found this video helpful, feel free to give us a like. If you have an idea for a future video, drop a comment in the comment section below. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss some of our uploads. Thanks. Bye.